Hey everybody, Jason here, and welcome back to Short Course World. Believe it or not, today we're going to do the first ever short course review that I've ever done on the channel. Now, when I started this channel, I started it just because I was racing short course trucks, but I've never done a short course review. So here's my first ever short course review. Boom. Now I know what you're thinking. That's not a short course truck. You're right. I mean, anybody can see that, right? It's a short course buggy. So if you have a Proline Pro 2 short course truck, they offer a conversion to convert it into this short course buggy. And I'll show you more about the conversion kit and the buggy and all that sooner, but I just want to talk a little bit about short course buggy and short course in general. It seems to me that short course has kind of died off in the last 6 months, year or so. When I travel, I see less and less short course trucks showing up. And of course, now I live in California, but when I lived back in the Midwest, back in Michigan and Illinois and stuff like that, we race indoors in the winter, and then when the weather's nice for a few months, we want to be outside. And short course trucks, they notoriously are not fun to race outside. If it gets even the slightest bit windy, they start to fly around. But with that said, short course trucks are a great way to introduce new people into the hobby because it's closed wheel racing, and you can kind of, Rubbin's racing. You can kind of bump and nudge a little bit. The newbies like to just drive through the back of you, but that's just part of racing. But the bottom line is this: short course trucks are a lot of fun. They're just not a lot of fun outside. Now, a lot of the classes have been being divided. They've been getting divided up more and more and more, and it makes racing programs take longer. You end up having to have more parts, more tires, which are consumable, which is one of the most expensive parts of RC, which is why I don't understand why this class hasn't really taken off. I mean, short course buggy, it's kind of like the next step in like the evolution for short course. Basically what you end up with is a short course platform, but you can run all the same tires, and it's open wheel racing. So the cars fly better when they're outside. It's open wheeled, so you kind of have to use a little bit more skill. I just kind of feel like short course buggy should be a class that guys that like to run short course, they should graduate to this before they jump into, say, two-wheel drive mod buggy or two-wheel stock buggy or even four-wheel buggy. I just think that this is a really good class, and as opposed to jumping into like stadium truck, you can jump right into short course buggy with a conversion, and all your current wheels and tires will still work. So, all right, my rant's over. I got this short course conversion, and Proline has a lot of cool stuff for it. Let me take you and show you what comes in the package. I also got my hands on this MIP ball dip for this thing, so I can kind of dial it in a little bit, and I'll talk to you more about that in just a second. So let me show you the conversion. Let me show you the buggy on the bench, and then I'll show you a few laps of us running it, goofing off, and then we'll talk about what I think about this conversion. This is the short course buggy conversion. This is what you get. Basically, Proline sells this as an upgrade, or I guess just a changeover, so you can change over your Pro 2 platform. Part number is 6254-00. And let me show you what's in here. Basically, you could see most of it from the front, but unfortunately when you look through the back, you couldn't see because the instructions and stickers and stuff were in here. The first thing that's going to jump out, obviously, is the body, which is pretty cool. Proline always does some pretty cool bodies. I don't know who their designer is or whatever, but they've always got some pretty good looking bodies. So this is clearly the body, and then the rear side panels that go, yes, something like that anyways. Get after that a little bit later. Now, one thing they included that nobody else has so far is they actually give you the interior driver and stuff. And I'm traditionally pretty lazy, but I might have to paint this dude up like Speed Racer or something, because that is pretty sweet that they include that. The driver's in here somewhere. Let's see if we can find him. All right, here's the driver right here. I don't know if you can see this dude's head. You know what? Here, I'm gonna make sure you can see his head. I don't care. I shouldn't be breaking this stuff out without working on it, but check this out. Yeah, this is going to be Speed Racer here a little bit later on. So there's all the driver parts, and it looks like components to actually assemble the body and stuff like that. You've got your bumpers and stuff like that, bumper conversion, and mainly just the roll cage. I mean, there's not, it's actually pretty neat that you get the body, the cockpit, the driver, the bumpers, the roll cage. And it looks like that front shock tower or rear shock tower might be a little bit different. So other than that, that's what you get. So I'm stoked to get building on this thing. See how it turns out. Okay, here's my Proline Pro 2 short course buggy conversion. Let me get the body off. You can see that it's got these little like thumb screws or whatever, and these things are actually really, really cool. I think this is a great idea. It's not quite as fast as a body clip, but it's just way more secure and less likely to come off in the middle of a race. Now this thing fits on here pretty tight. I've got the hole in the body just like the exact right size. A couple of tips: you will have to cut out this back side guard to clear the motor. And a couple of things: make sure that when you're assembling this, make sure you realize that there actually needs to be, the holes in the body need to be big enough for the actual bar to go through. I saw some guys online asking questions about it because they were actually not realizing that this actually has to go through there to be anchored. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but you know, just in case. Okay, so you can see what I've got in here. I decided to use an inexpensive motor and speed control just because I've got a few of them laying around from other vehicles and stuff like that. But the stuff works really, really good. So I mean, it's like a $45 speed control and a $32 motor, and they're just awesome. I've got a Reedy battery in here. In fact, I think that's one of my Wolf packs. It is. My Futaba 614 FS receiver. And then that's a Savix 1258 servo. You know, I'd had the electronics out of this thing and I wasn't paying attention, and I lost the servo saver. So I broke down and I bought a nice aluminum servo saver. I think that's like a Racer's Edge or something like that. But overall, you can see just the electronics layout of the car. And basically, this is basically the Pro 2 short course truck. I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, but they just add a few things. They add like a new rear body mount, rear bumper, front bumper, and that's pretty much about it. You know, you pull off the side guards and you put these little pieces of plastic in here that have holes, because on the bottom of the body's actually located with these little spikes that are right here. So I don't know how well you can see that, but this little spike, they just go right down in there into those holes. So overall, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, they're nothing too complicated. I don't have a transponder in because I actually haven't raced it. I have taken it out and just done a bunch of laps and just had a blast with it, and it actually really is a blast. But couple of things just to show you real quick. I think one of the things that contributes to the durability of a platform like this is, I mean, you can see that it's just really, the plastics are really, really forgiving. And while that really isn't ideal under like a race circumstance in general, for a class like short course buggy where you're just out there trying to have some fun with your buddies and it's not uber competitive, it's really not a bad thing. So, all right, let's get on with it.
All right, here we go. First run, Proline short course buggy. Do I get a pass because I've never taken a lap with it before?
No.
No. Oh yeah, traction baby, bring it on.
22.3.
You better look out for that forward because I'm coming for you with a short course buggy over here. Recording? That's good.
Huh? 27.8.
This thing is plush. I am, relax. I'm waiting for the misters to finish. Let me do one more lap. One or two.
$18.4.
One more?
Yeah.
15.7.
Let's put the tires on real quick, and then you can drive it.
Okay, so you got to see the actual, what you actually get in the buggy conversion. You got to see the actual buggy on the pit table, kind of like the electronics layouts and stuff like that. And then I showed you some running footage of the buggy. And overall, here's what I think. I think the Proline has done a really good job of creating a package that's super durable, it's fun to drive. And they have some tuning options. I will say this, right out of the box, I don't know that the Pro 2 truck is absolutely super dialed. It seems to be a little bit slow in the steering, which is probably good for a newer driver. And some of the plastics are maybe a little bit too compliant, which is really good for durability, but it's not all out race. But in my opinion, I don't know that short course should be all out race. I think it's really an introductory level kind of a class. And I know that some of the pros run it, but I feel like short course is one of those classes that we should get people in, get them to have a bunch of fun, get out there, race. We don't want them buying parts every time they hit the track. So I think that overall Proline's done a good job. And I think that converting your short course truck into a buggy, especially if you're in the Midwest, is a great idea. I mean, it's open wheeled, so it's kind of like the next step in developing your racing ability, you know, going wheel to wheel without crashing each other. And they fly so much better outdoors and in the wind than a short course truck ever will because they just don't parachute. So overall, good product. Proline definitely has some upgrades for this kit. You can get your hands on a shorter chassis. They have some upgraded shocks. There are actually stiffeners to make the shock towers a little bit stiffer so that they just basically don't flex as much, they don't give as much. I don't know that you really need any of that stuff. It's out there if you want it. It's a tuning option. There's definitely a lot of adjustability in the kit, the Pro 2 short course truck. But at the end of the day, you put it together, you get the setup close, you make sure that the tires are right, and you go out and you have a blast. It's durable, it's fun to drive, and it's pretty inexpensive to fix. I don't know that you're going to be fixing it all that much. We beat it down, and you'll see in some of the outtakes, we got some pretty gnarly crashes. So anyways, good value. If you've got a Pro 2 short course truck, especially if you're in the Midwest, or even I guess if you're out here in the West Coast and you want to go race your short course truck outdoors, take a look into the short course buggy conversion. I think you'll have a blast. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. You didn't make it. That's what you get when you jump something backwards.
I successfully did durability testing for that.
So what's the lesson?
The lesson is the plastic should spin, they don't break.
Charlie, you know Charlie? Hey Charlie, I don't care how many times I say just in case you're watching this video.
All right, you ready? This thing is plush.
All right, so we've already taken some laps, which I've already shown you. I probably should put the 5000 in the car, but instead I'm gonna put the MIP dip in it. Hey, by the way, before you leave, I just want to say thanks again for watching my videos. I only make these videos so that we can have fun together. By the way, you'd be doing me a big favor if you could either comment, like, or even better, subscribe to my channel. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.